of the Year from Clare FM, Mr. Derrick Lynch.
Derrick, ladies football, why are you so passionate about it?
I think firstly it's because our home club, Clonmurray Bricken, football is a religion, whether it's men's, women's, it's what you're brought up with. So from our point of view, there was never any difference. You played football just depending on whether it was the men's or ladies. So that was our rearing in it. I suppose from my own family's point of view, my grandfather was involved in setting up Clonbunny ladies football and hurling club as well. So it's always been there as part of the family. We were brought up with it, and I've just been lucky to make a career out of it, thank God.
Can you tell me maybe a highlight from your career in broadcasting ladies Gaelic football, or what springs to mind, or it could be a great game or a great player that you've seen? What have you picked out down the years? I
think the development of Clare Ladies in the last couple of years in particular, and we've seen the likes of Laurie Ryan, Niamh O'Dea, Caoimhe Harvey, these have all become household names. And 10-15 years ago we had the Etna Morrisseys and Tammy Hehers, who were well known within the county, maybe not so much outside, but you say Niamh O'Dea now, or you say Laurie Ryan, everybody knows who they are and what they're about. And I think that exposure speaks for itself in the way the game has developed, and it has probably then put a greater onus on us as media that if we don't cover it, the question is asked why, and if you don't do it, you don't really have an excuse, because it's so high profile, the interest is so high, and you can see that here at Croke Park with the amount of people that are coming to finals across junior, intermediate and senior. So that explosion for me, I think, has been brilliant to see.
And what role has the media played in that? What have they done?
I think live streaming has been a huge part of that in particular, but also like that, if it's a Clare Ladies game coming up at the weekend, well then it should be in local radio, it should be in local newspapers, and make people aware of it. After that, it's up to people whether they go or not, but they have to be aware of it first. I think it's our job to do just that, and also tell the stories. Everybody knows that there's a story behind these players, and particularly, I remember when the pandemic started, I did a couple of interviews with the Clare Ladies players who were working as frontline workers. There was a couple of them working in the centres, the testing centres, some are working in nursing homes. So to get the story behind the player, I think just adds another dimension to it.
So it's not just about the skill, it's not just about the passion, it's about giving them profile.
Absolutely, and the skill and the passion is a huge part of it, and we can see that with the level of preparation that's going into it now. Particularly we'll say in Clare, we're lucky enough to have somebody like Evan Telty as the county manager, and the development that he has brought into that in terms of the video analysis and stats and dietitians and all the rest of it. So that's all part of it. But yeah, people will get invested in players, and the girl next door to you, you may not know too much about her, but if you get that profile piece, that profile enhances, and I think it's incumbent on us to do that.
Do you think there's more of a respect, shall we say, these days than there might have been 15 years ago, especially among the male population, towards ladies Gaelic football?
There certainly has, and again I just referenced at the All-Ireland finals here in Croke Park, you can see that. But even all the way up along, I remember in 2016 we were lucky enough to see the Clare Ladies play here in the intermediate final against Kildare, but a game that stands out was the semi-final against Tip down in the Gaelic grounds, and the drama that was around that and the way the county all bought into it. And what was really heartening to see was the homecoming that the team got in Rosslevin in Clare. When they came home after being beaten in that final, they were crestfallen coming off the bus, but a huge crowd came out to see them. I thought that was a lovely kind of touch of respect of what they had achieved in that particular year.
Just one last thing, they're talking this week about filling Croke Park within 4 years. That would be something, but I'm wondering what role the media has to play in that, and how you find it working in ladies Gaelic football. How do you find the girls and players when you interview them?
They're the most intelligent, eloquent people that you'll speak to in sport. There's no difference, as I said at the outset, from a ladies footballer to a men's footballer. They have very, very interesting stories to tell. They're putting on cracking games of football. And ladies football is probably that little bit more open than men's. I think it's a more enjoyable game to watch because there's very few sweepers, there's very few blankets. It's all about attack, which people want to see. And I think that's kind of really, really an attractive element.
And will they fill Croke, and what will the media coverage be like?
I think they will. I think the media coverage will be wall to wall. I think there's more can be done. Look, things can always be better. In Clare we're lucky enough that we have good media working, whether it's us in Clare FM or the local newspapers as well. But we can all do that a little bit more. I think nationally as well a little bit more can be done to give it that little bit more profile. Look, that's a battle for down the road. If it in Croke Park, yeah, certainly I think that can be done. And again, it's just all about the profile. Keep putting it out there and keep those stories coming.